Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's MRCs, and in today's video we are going to learn how to insert equations, formula and functions in Microsoft Word. So basically we normally use this when we are writing reports. Let us say people who print books, they normally use this technique. So instead of you going to Google and you copy these equations, we can always use Microsoft Word to insert them. We shall deal with some chemical equations like 2, then math equations, I think math equations and functions. Let us jump into the video now. We are going to start with the chemical equations. We are going to write the chemical equation of the manganese 2 ions in presence of hydrogen. So we move to insert, then under insert we move to equation. So once you click on it and left click, it will give us a drop down menu. Then we move to insert new equation. So from here we shall get a new tab. So under this, these will help us to generate our equations. So we can start with this. Remember the manganese 2 ions have, I don't know if there are 2, but there are 2. Remember the manganese 2 ions. We shall start with this. I can start with this. So I start with my M. So it's capital N, then O, oxygen is it. Remember in chemistry, when you're writing a chemical equation, you always have to respect the signs and symbols. So when we move to using the arrow keys, you move to the next box. So we shall not insert immediately. So we move back to the superscript, the script. Then we elevate it like that. So after elevating it like this, we shall have 2 boxes. So here we shall insert 4, then up, I think it's 2 minus. Yes. So you use the arrow keys. So we shall move to our next. So if it is plus 8 hydrogen ions, so we can use this. So in our first box we shall put 8 hydrogen ions. It's a plus. Then plus 5 electrons. 5 electrons. Yes, there are 5 plus 5 electrons. Then you can insert an arrow. So most of these symbols are here. So you can insert an arrow. Then you insert the manganese 2 ions. Under script, you can use the manganese 2 ions. You can use this. Okay. Arrow key plus plus 4. You can use this. You can use this. So this is high. This is 4 water molecules plus oxygen. So you can always make it linear, change in line. So this is our chemical equation. You can, if you want, you can also make that of a chromate. The chromate ions is also easy to make. So I move to my next equation, which is the math equation. Like basically, I'm going to do the standard deviation and the sample variance. The sample variance. So we can always come back to insert. Under equations, the drop down menu appears. Then we navigate to insert new equation. So after here, we can always start with our standard deviation. That is standard deviation. Standard deviation is equal to the square root. You can always use this, the square root of variance. So this is our equation. I can write it down, variance. Okay, you can always make this change to line. It will always fall in line. Then sample variance, then sample. You can always come back under insert equation. Insert equations. Can make it change in line. So I can start with my sample. Sample variance is equal. Sample variance is equal to summation. So the summation symbol, we shall first, because it is summation of xi minus x bar, all in bracket, over. So we shall embrace this. So under sample variance, like after creating the fraction boxes, remember in the numerator there is a squared. You shall be squaring the bracket. So I insert the superscript. You first set it up. So after setting up this, obviously this will be a 2. So I can just put it in advance. So under the first box, I can always come and insert the summation symbol. The summation symbol is always somewhere here. So I open my bracket. I add a box with subscript. So this is my x with a small I, minus. Let me increase the size. This is zooming. Minus. First make it be minus x bar. For me to get that x bar, which represents the average mean, I move to this. So under this I can always put an x. then I close my bracket. Separate it, then I close my bracket. So I move down, I move to the bottom, which is n minus 1. But otherwise you can always generate these equations. You can always embed them in your work, and you always come up with, you can generate any equation, you can customize any equations, and you can improve the quality of your work. You can always increase the quality of your work, but otherwise I would like to wish you a nice day, and if you found this video helpful, you can always subscribe and like. Have a good day, and don't forget to save your work.